Okay, so without wasting
Thank
so
you.
much time, I hear Adila is on her way down to Lagos, so she's probably gonna be on air. Also, without wasting so much time, we'll have to like kick off and go straight into it. But before then, I would like to do a proper introduction. First, I want to thank everyone who has shown up here, and I want to welcome this special speaking dance presented by Live with Beghast. And I am your host today, and my name is Faith Otioko. I'm a dancer, filmmaker, curator, and the founder of Beghast Foundation. And at Beghast, we believe in the power of storytelling, collaboration, and movement to transform lives. And today's conversation is exactly about that. And like I said earlier, this is part of the special edition of Speaking Dance, a thought-provoking interview series produced by Beghast Foundation and presented by Live with Beghast. It is dedicated to amplifying African voices in the dance community. And when I say speaking dance, I say speaking dance offers a platform where dancers, leaders, and change makers come together to engage in honest and forward-thinking conversation about the future of dance and its intersection with culture, policy, and the creative economy. And joining us today are three out of the nine newly elected leaders of the Guild of Nigerian Dancers, GOND. And these are the individuals who are now tasked to representing dance in sorry, Adila just joined us. So these are the individuals now tasked with representing dancers nationwide, especially in places that matters the most, like policy, protection, and the progress of dance in Nigeria. And why this is important is because most of us have been waiting for an opportunity like this to have a leadership like this, and we've been meaning to have something that is beyond just the whole surface of entertainment or movement. And we are super excited to host this opportunity, to open the floor directly to hear from our newly elected leaders to speak to dancers and tell us what we should be expecting, and to our audience out there, please note that this is not a fault finding session. It's a chance for us ignite hope, um, to ignite hope, and to also demand for clarity and spark solutions for progress. We cannot keep on feeling hot. We need to start being logical and find a way to go from here. And before I go, I would like our guests to introduce themselves. I'll start with Mr. Shegun.
Hello, everybody. My name is Shegun Adefila. I'm a choreographer, director, a theater artist, and of course, the national president of the Guild of Nigerian Dancers. And I'm delighted to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Tyro. Mr. Tyro, you can go on, please. You can introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Ambassador Tairu Ajibola Ajibode. I am the National Secretary of Guild of Nigerian Dancers. I'm a choreographer, a dancer, a director, everything that has to do with dance, it's what I do. And I've been in it for quite a number of years. So, so pleased and happy to come here for the interview or what we want to do now.
Thank you very much for joining us. And we'll have Adila.
So, hello everybody. I just left the message for live. As soon as I unbarked, I was ready to talk. And I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Uh,
Meet everyone.
uh, yeah, you didn't hear her. She's in the plane now, and she won't be able to talk so much. But yeah, so just for us to go on straight into it, for us to really understand what the GOND is, I would like to dedicate this question to the secretary. Please help us in the whole foundation and the context of GOND. GOND has been existing for over, if I'm not mistaken, 13 years. And it's important for us to know now, like now that we are in 2025. This is like a new era of dance in Nigeria, whether we like it or not. So I would like you, Mr. Tyro, in your own words, what is GOND's core purpose today, and why does it exist?
Well, God has been in existence since 1996. In fact, I would say 1995. But before then, the name was Nadun. Nadun is a National Dance Union of Nigeria. No? It came about during Nigeria 95 World Cup. So something happened and some people came together, the likes of Muyiwa Nike, Bola Everiga, and host of others. They came together and decided to form an association for the guild. For dance rather. But in 1996, it was formally chartered by NANTAB. So, and we became a guild under NANTAB. So since 1996, GOND has its certificate from NANTAB, and we have been on ground since 1996. What GOND stands for, what GOND stands for is simple but technical. Some people, when you talk of GOND, they're like, GOND will get them job, will get them this. No, GOND is not established to give or to get job for dancers. What we had to do, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. What we have to do for dancers is to protect the interests of dancers across board, to make sure that the welfare of dancers are well looked into, which means that if a dancer now goes into any job at all, and if GOND is aware of the job, we should be able to stand in gap for the dancer in case there is any challenge, anything that might probably needs us to, fight for them. Let me use that word, to stand in gap for dancers. Any of the dancer that we think it's been shortchanged. So that's why we tell dancers, please, if you are entering into anything, make sure that you have a kind of black and white agreement, so that if the producer or the EP or whoever that want to change you, if they come up with any idea, then the guild will stand in between to let them know that you are not just there, you are a member of the guild. Then having said that, we've tried in our own best possible means to make sure that GOND is not just, because at a point, people are saying that, later in Nigeria, let me say in Nigeria, we have various genres of dances. So we have the salsa, the ballroom, every dance, what have you, come on board in Nigeria. And we try to make sure that everyone are able to associate with the guild, because guild was formerly for the traditional dancers. Because what happened then was something that I can't even explain. And people came together, we cannot allow this to continue. Let's have an association. But as time progresses, we have foreign dance that come on board, which is very much important for us to have all the dances. Because when you talk of dance, it's not about Nigerian dance alone. I have other dances that people are now doing very well. So which means that Gond tried his best to make sure that he link up with other dance genres in Nigeria. So we now have a kind of we synergized together with other dance genres. So there's no more Gond is for the traditional dancers, because people have said it a couple of years. So I just need to point that so that everyone know whichever dance you are doing, either hip hop, salsa, ballroom, ballet, whatever you do, we are together as a team and as an entity, as an industry that is projecting the image of dance in Nigeria and everywhere in the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. If I understand you, you said GOND was put together to protect dancers and the dancing, and due to the foundation, which was majorly founded by traditional dancers back then, because traditional dance was one of the prominent dances that were being done there, and of like doing the involvement, new dances like the street dance and hip hop and everything. But so far, you say Bond has been trying their possible best to, have this diverse body of dance together and make it fun. But my
Exactly.
question, okay, thank you. So my question goes back to you again. When you talk about members of the GOND, who qualifies as a GOND member today? What really benefits do membership currently offer?
Thank you. If qualification, I mean, to be a member of GOND is very simple. You just have to align with GOND and our policy. Firstly, you attend our meeting. We have, it is stipulated in the Constitution that every last Thursday of the month is Congress Day for all the chapters in Nigeria. So as it is now, I'm the national president, as in national secretary, which means I have to go to my state for Congress meeting. So anybody that wants to be part of GOND, it means that the person must affiliate with Guild, especially in Lagos. Let me use Lagos State as a case study. You affiliate with GOND, you know when we have the meeting, then from there, you normalize your membership. That is, get normal, let me pay all the dues, get ID cards. That's for who wants to be a member of the guild. And then guild, you said, what are the benefits? The benefits is enormous, but by the time I start explaining, okay, this is it, this is it. But the one that is very much paramount is the welfare of artists. Like I did say, GOND is not saddled with the responsibility to get job for dancers. However, if there is any national event, and to God be the glory, we have the likes of Mr. President, Mr. Segun Adefila, in the corridor of the event, definitely GOND will make sure that all members of the guild, they are well taken care of in terms of participation and good remunerations. It is not saying that if there's any event, we will not allow or accept those that are not members of the guild. No, we will accept everyone, but we will push the guild to the person that come. This is us here, this is this. And I want to believe if the person sees the
Sorry about that. I think we're having a network glitch. You'll be back shortly. All right, so we have a little glitch, but moving on, I'll move to Adila, who is currently the Director of Business Affairs. Um, So Adila, so dance is rapidly evolving, yeah, both
Mhm.
culturally and commercially way. How do you see guns staying relevant in today's dance ecosystem?
Hmm. That's a beautiful question. So first off, we have to do some sort of reformer that is like restructuring, right? Um, I wouldn't want to go further than the conversations that we've been having recently, because I mean we're still like in the early stage and there's nothing cast in stone yet. But there are a lot of possibilities, there are a lot of what do you call it now? Positive efforts that's coming out from Ghana. So part of the conversations we've had has been reforming the dance industry, and how are we intending to do that through education, through some sort of financial aids, through what do you call it, legal rights, just to mention but a few. These are part of where we are at right now, and the conversations that we're having. Sorry, I'm going to be a little bit distracted. I'm not searching it yet. So hope you can understand that. Yeah, so these are part of the conversations that we've been having, and we're trying to implement these changes so that it can also be of a great interest to every dancer in Nigeria. And as a business developer for this association, so help me God. Yeah, so help me God. As a business developer for the association, I am very much invested in um, in organizing, in educating, in collaborations, in what do you call it now? More like a social worker for the dancers. Knowing what we need, where we are at, how can this guild really support? Because the roles of a guild is having their own members' interest at heart, creating some sort of visibility for them, making sure that they have what you call it, not necessarily, not really say they have to provide everything for the dancers. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but they, to a certain degree, they stand at the forefront between the government and the dancers. To give you an example, it's like some of the things we've had or some of the conversations we have is, imagine a space where we can create a national ID card for dancers. So that way it takes them. I'm so sorry. Value, please, we're serious here. Okay. So some of the conversations we've had is, creating some sort of national ID and national IDs for dancers in Nigeria. That way, it takes them off this whole police harassment. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. And it gives them some sort of belonging, and also that they're part of a community that also shows care and support, right? So that is part of the things that we want to implement as part of my own roles. Before we then start to get into the social and then the economic work of it, we need to implement the grassroots, what you call it, work, which is in line of education, which is very important. That's what needs to be re-educated, re-informed. So by so doing, what are we going to do in different spaces, in different states, organize workshops, training to start with, because there are a whole lot of things that are at stake when it comes to, you know, when it comes to a body as big as gun, right? So pretty much these are like some conversations we've been having. Yeah, I'm looking forward to implementing them with them.
Interesting. I wish we can have Mr. Tyro and Mr. Shego Adifila back, but since they're not here, I'll keep on hitting you all the questions. So,
Ciao. I'm sorry,
uh,
everybody. I'm so sorry. This was very important to be here. And also, like I said earlier, there might be a little bit of glitches because I'm at the airport, but we're going to make it work. Yeah.
thank you very much. So directly again to you. So if we look at the dance industry right now, we can see that we have always been in this seasonal moment of when there's a time where everything is heating up, and we are getting a lot of like attention, maybe from the music industry or from the
Yeah.
film industry or from brands and corporate bodies and stuff like that. And from my research and my understanding so far, we are in that moment now, in that season, where a lot of people are interested in coming into the dance space, and most times their intention are really not, will I say, genuine, or
True.
maybe genuine, but in a way leaves us at the grassroots level. Why they
They just want to
get
make money with us. That's it. They just
yeah,
want to
so
make money because the dancers don't know their rights.
that's it. So
Some
now,
dancers.
as the business affairs, as the director of business affairs, how do we cop these exploitative contracts, unpaid gigs, and unsafe conditions that are being widespread? How do we challenge this? How do you challenge this as the business, as the director of business affairs of the Gond for Nigerians dancers?
Okay. Okay, thank you for the question. So pretty much, um, like you said, or like I said earlier, this is not like this is a savior, come and save us, because it starts with the individuals, right? But to a certain degree, there's a lot of work that we can do, and there's so much that we can do as a guild, right? Um, like I said, we're setting up structures, we're putting in structures in place. We're opening our doors for legal practitioners. We're also getting involved with the government, because when we don't have the government backing, then it makes things easier. I'll give you an example. Take for instance, like you said, the milking guys. Say for example, you get into a certain job, you sign an agreement, because it's always been something that has been consistent. It's been reoccurring with space, whereby dancers feel cheated, some sort of situations maybe they don't get paid and all that. Because you're associated with the guild, right? Then the guild is the one that then comes in and standing back for you, for instance, to help you get back your legal rights, which is maybe whatever that you're being owed or whatever that is. And the educational part is also very important, because that's why I said we need to start from there. We don't have to already bring out everything that we need to do. Education in the sense that we need to be sorry, no matter the kind of events you might get yourself into, you need to have some sort of legal binding agreement, even if it is as low as 10K that they're paying you. So long as you're involved in rendering the services, you have to have a clear agreement. And when we're talking about clear agreements, it could be we don't want to be in control of everybody's businesses, like I said. We're just that guiding body that supports and helps and directly guide dancers. But then we can somewhat give you like a template as a dancer that is registered with the Guild of Nigeria that you could use for your own personal or company, or as a solo artist or a company owner or whatever that is, that can then help you to navigate your spaces. You get, so these are part of the things that we're trying to implement as well, that I feel like it's going to be very useful. It's going to be a useful tool for us.
Thank you very much. If I get you right, you were talking about how we need to also hold ourselves accountable, how to be attentive to the kind of that, and always make sure that we we propose what will benefit us, and not just
Sure.
be lost in the opportunity of, oh, this is a gig that is giving me the visibility and stuff like,
Exactly.
which is very important. Thank you very much for that. Mr. Shegun, welcome back. I had over 100 million questions already, but thank God you came to save Adila. So, Mr. President, I would like to ask, yeah, I and Adila were talking about legal and ways to, kind of like benefit the dance industry. And I also like to push the question to you in this way. What legal, financial, or health production does GOND currently offer its member, and how can dancers easily access them? Because there's one thing for we as individuals to do our own part, but there's something to be a member of a guild or or an organization that is recognized by the Nigerian government. You know how it's always easy for things like this to come when it has to do with an affiliation with the government. So if I am a member and I'm paying my dues, coming for the meeting, how do I assess these benefits?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm sorry for my momentary absence with network issue. Okay, so and thank you, my director of business. She has represented us very well. I mean, she's well positioned. I'm
Yeah.
happy that we have a strong team together, and that's I'm going to take up this question from that premise that in fact, reading through the comments, on this live chat has been very, very illuminating, because then all of these questions were the questions we were asking ourselves too. Why do I have to be a member of the Guild of Nigerian Dancers? What is on ground for me? What are those things that I stand to benefit?
Mm.
Of course, people right now. People are at the stage where everybody is disillusioned. Where the dancers are at that stage where all man for himself. The young dancer wants to survive and take care of himself,
Mm-hmm.
and then you come from one place as an organization, and then come to them and make demands. But there's a popular saying that says, "To whom much is given, much is expected."
Mm-hmm.
So what this administration is setting out to do are some of those things that you've highlighted. We want to way, give stores to dancers, that we make dancers themselves now say, listen, it is very paramount, it's of paramount importance that I become a member of the guild, because these are the things I stand to benefit. My health insurance is covered. I cannot be cheated out of any business. There's the tendency for me to get good quality jobs every now and then because I belong to a body that is well recognized. But that body has to be well recognized. That body has to be positioned. That body has to be visibility and all of these things. So we are starting from the foundation. We are starting like, the only thing that we're giving now is what most parents, disciplined parents, most parents don't give their children nothing except a good name,
Mm-hmm.
and then say, listen, I have nothing to trade but my good name. So we have guns, that's the name, ground to attract young people to us. So when we see people when we see dancers who are so passionate about this profession that they are willing to be part of what we're doing, we're inspired. So to answer your questions, these are the things we're going to start working on. You know, we don't even have the commitment as a body. This government, this administration has no. We don't even feel the moral obligation, the moral right to approach dancers and say, we need your dues. So what we want to do is to be able to create, platforms that can open those channels that we're talking about. It's about visibility. It's about people need to embrace the guild like it's important. Everybody needs to say, you know what, we're going to give in our best. We're going to put all our sweat into this. We're going to commit ourselves to it. We're going to pay our dues. But these are our expectations from the guild. On our side, we are trying not to wait for that. We are trying to place the guild in a position where a dancer can just say, you know what, this is what is going on here, and I need your intervention. And the guild is able to intervene. So we're going to come to that. We are not there yet. We are going to come to that where all dancers will be insured. And I don't think our administration does not believe in saying these things. We're going to build castle in the air. We're going to tell you the process of doing it. First and foremost, gun has to be well footed, well grounded. And then from that, we come up with policies that will give us the kind of recognition that can make us make a demand. We're not relying on the government right now. We don't even have something to bargain with. So we're going to bargain with our sweat and the sweat of every dancer who has something at stake. We are coming to all of those things, seeing these needs that we know that dancers need. I mean, it's as simple as even an ID card to identify you as a dancer. We don't have that on ground yet. But so these are our missions. These are the things we want to do. If we didn't get this platform to speak, it's going to be a bit difficult. What have you done as a dancer? What you have done as a dancer is to create this platform for us, to create an interface between the executives and the dance community. And this is what, was the American president, Kennedy, when he says, think not what America can do for you, think what you can do for America. So right now, you have contributed this platform to the development of your industry. And those are the things we are looking for from dancers, with brilliant ideas, with how can we do this together. So it is not left to us to create those schemes that will be beneficial to all. We need people to say to us, of course, we are not bereft of ideas, but we need this encouragement. We need people to believe in it. And that's our own mission. If it takes us a year, 2 years to make every dancer believe in it, so that when we speak, people can listen. Right now, except we want to build castle in the air and deceive ourselves, nobody's listening to us because we are all doing our individual fights. But imagine the strong dance base. I mean, when I see dancers in Nigeria, I'm like, what? This is diamond. This is pure gold, man. What we need to do is be able to harness all of this. So we need people to create those platforms. We need people to come up with beautiful ideas. We need us to see this as something we're going to do together. Right now, there's nothing to offer. But it's not going to be like that in the next 6 months by the grace of God and by the power of we human beings, I mean the dancers and this executive. We don't leave everything to God. God has given us all the powers to do the things we can do. And so we know that there's nothing God cannot do, but there are so many things God will not do for us. This one we have to do by ourselves. And our sleeves are rolled up for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. When you were talking about, the team of people that you have and how solid they are, for me, when I saw the announcement on Facebook, I was like, okay, cool. This is a well designed team where we have people of different generations, because this for once has been the issue in the dance industry, where the older generations are always at the leader position and the younger generations are always at the listening position. And you know as Africans, this has always been what they've taught us, always listen to your leaders. The but the question has always been for most of we young people, are they listening to us? Because we have a lot to say. We have a lot of things to say. We are passionate about so many things. We are facing a lot of things. So are they listening to us? And in for me to add to that question, because a lot of dancers now don't understand the structure of GOND, and I understand this is a new regime. This is a new ESCOs, but coming in and seeing how everything has happened, how the past leaders have led the dance industry, how does GOND plan to improve transparency and keep dancers informed? This would be to the secretary.
If I can quickly answer this, if I'm
Okay.
allowed.
Okay. Yes, please.
Yeah.
You.
Yes. Like you rightly said, the culture that produced me say that any tradition that we die is that tradition that you exclude young people from.
Mm.
If you want to sustain anything, then you must include young people. That's if you believe in the sustainability of that thing, because the old will grow old and move away, you know. And like you rightly observed, that's been my observation, you know. So the strength of a body is a youth population, you know. That is why, sorry, I'll also be, every time I want to talk, because I'm a cultural person, I also like to resort to, you know, and I go to the Igbo culture, for instance. You know, there is the class system, you know, age grade system, where those who are thinking with wisdom that are guiding are at a certain level. Those on whose energy and blood and sweat that those societies run are the young people, you know. So it's like the wisdom of a monkey and the strength of a horse will move mountains. So this administration relies heavily on young people, not to see GUND as a moribund, organization, but to see GUND as their own thing. This administration is a listening administration. Not because we have to listen, but because we believe that to sustain and enliven the organization, we need to listen. So when we listen, we are not doing you a favor. We are doing ourselves a favor. Are you there? Because it's a question of legacy. It's a question of what we are known for. So we've gone past the stage where young people say, oh, you must listen to, please listen to us. No. The old should know that for them to be sustained and their wisdom to have visibility, it has to run through fresh energy. And that's what this is all about. There's no way I would have organized this platform that you created for us, because it's not in my life. I'm thinking somewhere else. We were young in the age of Telegram. Now it's Instagram. Now,
Okay, let's have it. Let's
for our,
have it.
yes, for our own sake, if we go and stand on the engine of Telegram, it is it is long. Instagram is the one that can create that solution. And that's why we're here. So it is to guide, it is to advise, it is to be able to say, you know what, this force, this energy we're putting together, let us channel it like this. But the driving force really is the young people. So it's about visibility. I mean, a lot of young people are doing amazing things in Nigeria. A dancer has got a dance center known worldwide. If you've heard of Q Dance Center, that is not a government entity. It's a private one owned by a dancer. There used to be the corporate dance studio. So dancers are not waiting. Dancers are already on the move. What we want to do is to put these moves together so that they become a movement. So it's a two-way traffic. We're not doing one way. It's not going to be just old people. They should call us out if we fail to listen. And let us be quoted now. Quote me. Said, call us out, because part of, you see, the African culture is not a redundant culture. It's not a culture where young people cannot speak. The authentic African culture thrives on the elderly, the young, women, and fathers. So the complete African culture does not exclude women. That is why if you see our administration, you have strong women there. What would I have said better than what Adila has said already? I'm sure that this interview, at one point, you're going to invite the vice president, who is also a female, a right-thinking person. So that's the kind of culture that produced us, that everybody must be involved. So if I look through the administration, I see that, oh, we're all from one angle. It's not going to work. It's a pluralistic environment that we are in. And so we put that into consideration. That's why our advice, we're begging now that young people should not turn their backs on this. And forget the small things of white beards. Me, I'm still young at heart. I'm 18 years, so my ears are open. I don't know if the sex gen is old, but we are young, we are ready to listen to these fresh voices because they are the ones to drive it. If gun fails, I don't want to shift blames, but to resuscitate the guild as a young person. That's why I said we are in the era of what can I do? Now, call us out when you bring a beautiful suggestion and we say, no, we don't want it. It has to be our way. Then you call us out. So we are doing amazing things. I've seen the dance scene in Lagos and Nigeria, and I see that young people are doing fantastic things all over. So my heart is at rest. This administration believes that we really have no problem because we are not bereft of talent. We have talented, energetic people who are making things happen. There's Loud Bass doing his thing. Look all over. Just go on a Gone page, you see what dancers are doing on their own. What we want to do now is just put it together. Thank you. So we're listening.
Okay. In terms of passing information out, because a lot of people didn't really hear about the new leadership. So that's where go back to my question of transparency, sharing. How does information? How do you plan on getting information outside to the people? I think I'll ask this to the secretary. How do we start passing informations that are very effective, urgent to the dancers, not just in Lagos but everywhere states?
So the Guild of Nigerian Dancers, we know that dancers are connected all over. So we're resorting to the tradition of each one tell one. If you hear of something, please spread it. So all I need to do is get in touch with you, for instance, if I need to meet like 100 people. Because all I need to do is let you know what we're talking about, our decision, our plans. If you put into a platform, like 5 followers of yours will see it. Those 5 followers will do theirs. So it is about visibility. There will be transparency. What we do is just sit down together and bring up, okay, what do we want to execute? This is the plan. We throw it out there. Young people will drive it. Like I said, if dancers can take the initiative that you have taken, because we didn't call for it. You said, okay, I think when I saw your team, I think this is going to be a workable thing, and this is what I can bring to the table. I said, oh wow, this is brilliant. This is so you're a blessing to the guild for creating a platform. Let everybody do the same thing. Oh, I'm a graphic designer. Oh, I think we can. Oh, I'm organizing something in Port Harcourt, and I need the guild to be aware of it. Just get in touch with us, and we will all spread it. So you are doing your thing, I'm spreading it. I'm doing mine, you're spreading it. We're all working together. So it's a dance community, and it takes nothing from every one of us. That is add something to us. So information dissemination will be more fluid now because we have people who have voices and we have followers.
In the comment section, they've been talking about how the individuals also have to raise their voice to kind of stand for themselves. But we know the country that we are in. Yeah. If there's not a recognized body, you as an individual is not enough to back up a lot of things. So I would like to ask, is GOND currently pushing for any laws or policy changes to officially protect dance labor right now?
Okay, thank you so much. We are already on it. What we are doing now is restructuring. I know Mr. President must have said something that has to do with this while I was off. So we are on restructuring, doing a whole lot of things to make sure that everything is taken into consideration. We have about 15 state chapters that are currently viable and functional. So even in terms of information dissemination, as the president just said, fine. We have our state chapters there that whatever you need to know, you know it. That's one. Secondly, we have platforms where informations are being spread at every given moment. So it's not about you holding on to information. That's for that. I just want to add to what Mr. President said. Then policies are put in place. We have them, but right now we are work in progress concerning laws that will help the guild. Though, like I did say earlier, we are into welfareism of the dancers, which it is our primary primary assignment. When you have challenge, any dancer that has challenge must come to us. Let's know. It might not be to the national, maybe to the state level, or maybe we hear it from the social media. It is now our duty to pick it up and make sure that the dancer is sorted in every ramification. We must make sure that at least we do something to let whoever that want to play on our intelligence know that okay, guild, we are for each other. So we are into restructuring, putting so many things in place. I will not say it here that these laws are being put in place. These laws are we are working, getting even lawyers. We have one, Ugo Uma. She's the chairperson of Lagos State. So she's a lawyer. So we're doing everything humanly possible to make sure that whenever there is an issue, we will stand in the gap for the dancer or dancers or even dance companies.
Thank you.
If I may add to what this again has said,
Yes, please.
so we've gotten to that place, we're getting to that place where the corporate world is going to have real organized interest. When I say organized interest, so it's not a question of, oh, I need that company to come and do something for me. We're getting to that point where we're going to be recognized, so we become a voice. We're going to make, comment on national policies that affect us. But like one person said in the comment section, it's about the education. Who is a dancer? Who is a Nigerian dancer? Are you a Nigerian dancer or a dancer from Nigeria? They are two different things. And I believe that you are a dancer from Nigeria, which is stronger. So we need to see ourselves, first and foremost. How do you see yourself? Now, if you see yourself as an important entity and not an entertainer, a mere entertainer, but somebody that's in a creative enterprise, it reflects in the way we carry ourselves and also tells us the urgency of coming together on time so that the recognition we need can be given to us. So you can't make policies when they don't even know your body. But when you see dancers and you know that dancers have a voice, if, for instance, we say we need government to reconsider a policy, our voices should be that strong. Come on, NURTW can do it. Why can't Con do it? NURTW. I'm not condemning them. It's also a profession for some people. But I'm saying that if they can do it, what is our excuse? The thing they have that we don't have is that they are not working in disparaged forces. They are together. They are a force. So people can come after you, for instance, and mess up with you because they think you're alone. But when they know the forces behind you and the
Otario,
body
please
you
mute your mic.
represent, when they know the voices behind you, the forces and the voices behind you, they take you serious. So anything that happens to a dancer happens to a collective. So when you're dealing with a Nigerian dancer, we are getting to that point, you have something big on your hands. But we're not going to be able to do this without the force, without people believing. And so far, so good. Since we came into the office, I've been hearing encouraging words from everybody. Oh, you guys are in charge. Okay, we're encouraged and all of those things. And instead of me to be happy, yes, I'm happy, but it feels like a huge burden on us, burden of responsibility. People believe so much in us that we must deliver. But how can we deliver when people don't even believe, don't have an idea of what we want to do, are not committed to what we're doing? How do we convince people that we can't do this alone? We need you to be with us. We need your force. We need your power. We need your voices. We need to know that when you are dancing in far north, in Borno, on a stage in Borno State, you are representing dancers from the whole of the nation. If you are somewhere in Anambra or Enugu, you are representing all of us, and we are with you. So when we see that collectivity, the rest is going to be, a walkthrough for us. It's going to be like a hot knife through butter. But we need that, collectivism, visibility, and clear, dedicated purpose so that people know where we're going to. Dancers need to believe in their profession and people running their profession. All they need to do is say, well, we brought an idea and you didn't do anything about it. This happened, you didn't do anything about it, and that's why we're disillusioned. No, give us a fighting chance. Give us the chance first. Let's do this together. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Just before we move on to the next question, we've been talking about reach out to the bond. If a dancer needs some, how do they reach out to the bond? Mr. Secretary.
It's simple. A dancer, well, the thing is, you need to belong to guild first. That's the first thing. Because we cannot, it's not something you force anybody to come and join. As long or as much as we want everybody to be in the team, we will not just, if you are not a member of the guild and we cannot just say we want to fight for you. So which means that you need to belong to a state chapter. Lagos State, we have in Lagos, we have in Ogun State, we have in Kaduna, we have in Cross River, we have in Bayelsa, we have guild chapters in all the states of the federation. Though some are not functional properly for now. So we are trying to see how we resuscitate them. But notwithstanding, there is no place, no state that we do not have GOND presence, even if they are not active. Having said that, no matter how, if you are a member of the guild, because we have to first thing first, if you are a member of the guild, whatever comes your way, it means that it is, like the president said, it affects everyone. So if, let's say in Lagos State, let me use Lagos State as a case study. If a dancer has a challenge in Lagos, it means that the state chapter will take it up and let it get across to the national if it's something they cannot handle alone. But if it's something on the social media, it means that the national will not wait for the state. We'll have to look at it first. Who is that person? Either it belongs to a guild or not. We must look for how to seek for his own interest first. That is, everything we have, we must make sure that we protect the dancer. Then later we can now start introducing the guides to the person if it has to do with social media thing. But if it's on job level, we will tell the person, go to your state chapter and lay your complaints there. I don't know if I've answered this.
Yeah, so if I get you right, in order for any dancer to kind of like benefit, one has to be a member, have to belong, a member of the guild.
Yes, you have to be a member of the guild. You have to be to fully enjoy GOND, as in everything that you need from GOND. You must be a member. But if you are not a member and there is a challenge that calls for us to, to make sure that we join and make sure that whatever the challenge is, it is phased out, then we have to. We will not wait until the person is a member. We must stand with the person instantly and immediately. But we can now introduce and make sure the person aligned with the policy and principle of the guild.
Thank you very much for that. I know my question might sound a bit kind of like heavy, but I also want us to see the question as a way to channel our focus towards. We might not have the answer now, but it will be a way to back up some kind of like awareness of, oh, truly, we should actually think in this direction. So, and for me, that's something I'm very much interested in how can we that are sparking up ideas that we never thought. So, in order for us to move forward, I would like to direct this to Adila. I don't know if Adila is there with us.
Yes, please.
All right. So we know the era that we are now, a digital, where a lot of things are done online, and a lot of dancers simply pushing their work through digital platforms. Yeah. So, as a business, as the director of business, what are the strategies that are being designed, being put in place to help dancers benefit from this digital in terms of royalties or online content? Right now, we see we see how the music industry and the film industry is key on ownership and key on copyright. Um, and if I get it right, in the law, we have a law that protects anything, any moving image captured. So automatically, every dancer that has been captured has a has a is copyright protected. Yeah, but how do we implement this that it's not just written, but it is in a way factored in for even the common dancers?
Sorry, the last part. He said, how do we implement this without what?
How do we implement this that it covers the common dancers, the grassroots dancers?
Okay, so just like we said earlier, I don't know, before the president left, we mentioned that we're going to put in what do you call it, legal rights into play. We're going to be inviting. Recently, we started to have a few agencies, here and there that are, building their organization to the benefit of dancers.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much some of the conversations we've had around this is to put that structure in place. So there's nothing that is being cast on stone. This is just a 3 weeks old, um, what do you call it now? Administration. Um, so there are a lot of conversations, right? But one thing that I know for sure is if we say we want to be like the musicians, we want to be like the actors, we want to be, I mean, everything is under art, right? But there's something that's also binding everybody as one and indivisible entity, which is the act of art itself. So we're not going to neglect ourselves as dancers to say, okay, because it's worked for music, then it cannot work for dance. Of course, we'll implement some of this into dance, but then we'll also find, so that's part of our work, to also find other alternatives of or means that can help us in this direction, right? And the very one, I don't know if I'm permitted to say so many things right now, but one thing I know for sure that we've been able to put in place is we're really working on that legal structure, because that is in all of these conversations, all of this English we're speaking, without those binding laws, none of these things are going to come into fruition. So this is the path that we are in right now. And I hope I've been able to somewhat answer the question.
Uh, yeah, I know it's a 3 weeks administration, but you know how we do this when you are about to get into an administration. There's what they call
Yeah,
manifesto. So meaning
Nigerian
your
politics.
manifesto states that you already have certain plans and you already have certain things that you want to put in place. So I believe that this administration sort of like had that before being appointed into position. So with my understanding or my expectations is a lot of answers will come from this those manifestation to state that we know what we are doing and we know this is what we want to start from, except that manifesto is not available.
Can I answer?
Yes, please.
Yes. So we've gone beyond manifestos now. Let's go into manifestation. You know,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, because then we can make all the promises.
Yeah.
We came in barely 2 months and some few days now. That we're sworn in. So our fear is that by December we are going to sit and ask ourselves, what have we done? So it's more about manifestation. We've gone beyond the talking time. It's the working time now. What we are clamoring for now is that we need the force to work with. Listen, there are 10 dancers are with us live in the country of 230 million or 200 and something million, with over 10, at least 1 million dancers in Nigeria. We have 14 people live with us. I understand that we have individual commitment. Because if they know the importance of what you've created, this platform, because this is where you're going to throw those questions. This is where you're going to hear your leader say, oh, we're going to do this. So now they make mouth that day. But if you're not there to keep this responsibility, it will be true. We cannot be, we can't be like a circle about it. Everybody must be involved, Even for me, when I say me, I'm speaking for us, I believe, for our administration. If you don't take us seriously, it's going to become a question of, let's just help the guild. Let's just help them. Let's try our best for these dancers. Instead of saying, let us do this for our community. These people are not interested, but let us go and help them. But when we see people working, we see people showing us that, man, you can't sleep. We are not lazy youth. So you are leading a group of well-informed young people. Energetic profession, like the dance profession, is not something to be handled with kids' gloves. When we see that kind of commitment, it's going to drive us to do what we're supposed to do. So it's about manifestation. That's it. We have manifestos. We have things to do. By the end of our first term, if we're going to do it again, dancers should be so proud of themselves. By the time we're done, every dancer will be able to say proudly that I'm a dancer. Because of what would have been able to gather the ESCOs and the members to do. It's dance education. It's about understanding the politics of the profession you are in. It's about understanding the space you occupy. It's about all of us knowing that we've gone beyond them. Where are those dancers? If we can do it, because dancers have done it individually, nothing stops us from doing it collectively. And we know that the problem of collectives coming together is because of, everybody's creative, everybody's thinking differently. And then for these people to come together, we have to be able to align and reach some compromises and forge a way forward, and let us know that the art of dance comes first before ego. So somebody comes from somewhere and says, oh, listen, guys, I think you guys can do this. It's not in our position to condemn it. Our position is to embrace, because we are going to be more youth-oriented than any administration before us, because we know the importance of this. So the manifestos, we have so many things. Don't forget that we're all dancers too, and we know the things we yearn for, and those things we yearn for, we want to put it in place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know. We also you also stated about not waiting for the government and stuff like that. But if we look at the industry now, I think Nigeria is beginning to accept creative arts as their national soft power, which is why they've brought up this new agency called the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, the Creative Economy. You see, and so far, under how many, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 2 years, they've been able to foster a certain kind of like collaboration with different industry. And from my belief, is because most of this industry has gone to meet them for possible collaborations. So will you say that the bond is looking forward to working with this government agency, such as the Federal Ministry of Arts, Tourism and Creative Economy, to ensure dancers are included in funding and policy making?
See, for even those agencies that you're talking about to even pay attention to us, they must know that we have a voice. So, and when I say voice, I mean metaphorically. Are we a formidable force to be reckoned with, to be listened to? Or is this just a question of this ESCO going to meet the agency and introducing ourselves to them? Oh, we're ESCOs of the Guild of Nigerian Dancers. Who are you representing? We are representing ourselves. Or when they see us, they know that behind us, around us, are over 1 million dancers. And when those million voices at the same time say the same thing, the tension. And that's what we're getting to. So let us be so structured. In the corporate world, when you see for sponsorship, every time they know that you have a gathering and your event will gather about 5,000 people, it is easy for you to get some level of sponsorship. Because they know that if they put themselves in this, then they become more visible to more people. So the corporate world is not looking to help you. They are looking, if I come on this train, what am I getting from it? So when the government recognized and this agency recognized our power as a people, because what we have, dancers, is what they call soft power. We can place Nigeria on the world map, which we are already doing individually. So it's, if we're able to put ourselves together, they will come and be asking us what we want to do so that they can support, so that they can ride on the train. So visibility is the first thing for us. We have to become a voice and a force. And so we won't be going cap in hand to go and beg for anything. They will just know that, you know what, we need to be on that train. And we can do it. We have what it takes to do it. Because I've seen us do it individually, you know. So we can do it.
Understand. So you mentioned visibility as one of the things that the gun is willing to take action in, because a lot of people don't know what the gun is and what the gun is doing. You know, so if visibility is part of the things, what else are you putting forward as the major priority for the gun to focus on, aside from visibility? What
Yeah, is to create programs that will touch individual dancers now.
when you say touch in what way?
So every dancer will feel, you know, there's something to create the policy and say blah blah blah, but they can't feel it, they can't see it. It's like saying Abacha loot recovered. Oh, Nigeria just gained $20 trillion, and then my mother selling her oranges in the market is thinking, I hear trillions all the time. It doesn't change the cost of cup of gari, because but when you reach the masses, then those things can make sense. So it is for us to look for those programs that will. Dancers are out there that even need recognition. We're going to come up with the dance award. We're collaborating with
Mr.
Q Dance
Tyro, please
Center.
mute your audio. Thank you.
We are collaborating with the Q Dance Center. You know, there's going to be a grand dance award in December, for instance, where we're talking about personality, dance personality. So you don't have to be a dancer, but who is that person, recognizing dancer? Israel Adesanya is a UFC fighter. You know, if you're a follower of that, you know, combat sports, but he's a dancer. And those people popularizing dances, we want to let them know that we see you. Sylvester Stallone is a filmmaker, but I tell you here that he's been inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. Why? He made films about boxing, the Rocky films. And they say, oh, this thing puts boxing on the world, you know, brought boxing closer to the people, to let people understand what the mind of a boxer is. So we have dancers like that. That recognition, you know, I will tell you some of it, because these are things we believe that people should see instead of us to talk about it. But maybe we should share it, you know. We're going to have a newsletter to cover what dancers from every nook and cranny of Nigeria is doing. So you're doing something in Nasarawa State. The Guild will send us this information. There's going to be in our newsletter. We send it to people like you who put it on your platform. So that guy in Nasarawa is not saying, oh, I'm just doing my thing alone. Nobody is seeing me. And that's going to encourage the other person in Enugu or Abia or Port Harcourt to say, oh, somebody is doing something great in Nasarawa. I want to do the same thing. Or let's do something similar. Or let's do something new. And before you know it, there's a quick buzz amongst us, you know. But we all have to be committed to giving ourselves, you know, that presence, giving ourselves that attention, giving ourselves that priority as a body. And it doesn't disturb individual dancers from doing their thing. In fact, your thing It's our thing because every achievement of yours is ours. I said earlier when I said, oh, a dancer has a center. That's not a gun center. That's not a Guild of Nigerian Dancers center. That's Skill Dance Center. But it is ours because the dancer owns it. You know, it's different from the national stadium. We don't know who owns the national stadium. It's for the federal government. But we have dancers who have their own centers that we can partner with. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is this idea of ensuring that there's personal impact in the lives of individual dancers to make them believe in everything we're saying. So that's why I said it's not about manifestos, it's about manifestation. Let everybody keep their manifestos in their head. Show us. We don't want to talk about dividends of democracy. We want to show evidence. And we must all hold ourselves responsible for this. We will do our part as executives, but we're imploring dancers to please do their part by contributing to the growth of the guild. And when I say of the guild, by extension of dancers, what you have done here, I keep referencing what you have done, is that you're giving us a voice, you're giving us a platform to interface. So we, the three of us here, Adila, Sekjen, myself, we're probably seeing some people are meeting us for the first time. Does that mean we don't have our own network and we don't have our own friends? No, it doesn't mean that, but we're meeting new people, which is what this is all about. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Talking about the award, do you think an award is what we need now?
Do I think what?
An award is what we need right now.
Yes, I believe strongly so. We need dancers to know that we are seeing them. We recognize what you're doing. It's a thank you thing. It's to say you are bringing light, you're bringing something. We see what you're doing. And for this, we want to encourage you to go on doing it. It doesn't stop every other policy. It doesn't stop us from doing every other thing. You know, and it's going to go on like as soon as we are firmly footed. It's a monthly thing. You know, dancer of the month or dancer of the quarter. And then you hear about somebody that you've never heard from Kwara. Somebody that you do that thinks, oh, I'm just doing my thing in Akure. Somebody in Wari, a dancer that is doing something fantastic. It is for us to go scout these people out and say, we recognize, we see you. We are doing stuff, but nobody knows about what we're doing. You know? And amongst us, of course, there's a bit of animosity. I think I need to talk about that. But all dancers must know that it is we against them, you know? We don't have the luxury of, you know, splitting so much. We can have disagreement, but dance must come first. Our art must come before our ego. So I have nothing to gain in you being down there. I have everything to gain in you being up there. And all of us need to see it like that. So yes, an award is, we won't, God forbid, we are young and we are healthy. We are not doing posthumous. We will reward you while you are around. We say thank you for doing what you're doing while we can see you. And when we do that, if somebody else is encouraged, you know, say, oh, okay, so they notice me. I'm going to be celebrated. Okay, let me keep doing what I'm doing. These are things that some of us, you know, you're just there in the dark. Nobody is seeing what you're doing, what you're contributing to the economy of this nation. The employment you're creating, the training you're giving to young people, everything you're doing, nobody's seeing it, but we can see you. And so let's start amongst ourselves. And then the corporate world will join us. I look forward to a dance award that will be held at Eco Hotels, where all the banks will be jostling to sponsor. And you know what? We have the content to give them that the world will say, whoa, this is Nigeria. You know it. We have all of these things. Why can't we come together and get it done? Somebody somewhere knows somebody in a bank. Somebody somewhere knows somebody in telecom. Somebody somewhere knows how to do. I have my contact. I know the people I know. But it's not going to be about me or the company I run any longer. It's going to be about us. And so that when you're doing something amazing, I know that it's me. So if you come into your community, you're doing something and we don't support it and we condemn you and the society is condemning you, we are condemning ourselves. If you raise you, we are raising ourselves. So we need to recognize people who are doing amazing stuff wherever they are. Nobody's looking at them. Who's going to blow your whistle if you don't blow it yourselves? If I don't appreciate you, who's going to appreciate you? If I, as a dancer, do not appreciate a fellow dancer who is doing an amazing thing, how do I expect somebody who does not even know the vulnerability of a dancer, the burden of a dancer, the demand, everything that a dancer puts into his or her profession? Who is going to recognize that if fellow dancers do not have empathy for each other? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. I think I have. Do I have any more question? Okay, I think I'll stop there for now. I have been asking everybody to drop their question in the question box, but they keep on dropping it in the comment section. Very hard for me to find. So I'll try and see the ones I can pick out to ask. So this is coming from BK. She said, how can we inspire love and dedication to and for institutions like GOND? I don't know if this question is to the GOND member or to the audience, but if anyone from the GOND can respond to this, that would be nice.
It's a personal decision. We need to know the importance of taking these steps, of being one, of standing up for each other, of looking out for each other, of ensuring that we have a solid structure, we have a body that is recognizable. It's a question of what some people will call existentialist threats. Our vulnerability as individual is threatened. Yeah, some dancers can be strong alone. But what if we are together? Are we going to be stronger or weaker? These are questions we need to answer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like it also starts from the individual, right? And also believing in the dreams of these associations, of the goals of this association, and also for the love of dance. I think when you identify that and you understand that, then it makes things easier for everyone, to be honest. So it's a win-win for everybody at the end of the day.
Much for that. This is coming from Obiajulu Ozegbe. He said, as a dancer, I know GOND has a relationship or affiliation with NANTAP. Can the National ESCOs please explain that, and does that limit the work of GOND for dancers in any way? Mr. Tyro, would you like to answer that?
Thank you. I would like to do that. The relationship between NANTAP and GOND is very cordial. In fact, NANTAP is our parent body because they charter GOND. Like I was explaining before I went off that time, the Guild, I said it was chartered by NANTAP. It was NANTAP it's a guild out of NANTAP. NANTAP is our parent body, so it has nothing to do with, and we have cordial relationship together. So you working with NANTAP is like working with GOND. So working with GOND is like working with NANTAP. It's just like Baba and Pikin. So there's nothing for now. I don't think there's anything that can separate us, and forever there should be nothing that will separate us. So GOND is NANTAP, NANTAP is GOND, but NANTAP is the father of GOND because they chartered GOND.
So meaning it does not limit the work GOND has to do for dancers?
He could never limit it. Because even as we know, I said it is Nanta Chartered Gun is our father. You can be the father of a boy or a girl or any of the sex. It does not mean that you will not give the person the freedom to do whatever he or she wishes. So there is I have never heard where Nanta say, "Go don't do this," or "Go do this." We have the freedom to do whatever we feel. And in fact, if there's anything we want to do now, we call the national Nanta. He's always there national president of Nanta. He's always there to assist, to guide, to whatever we need from him. And that's how it is even at the state level. If you call this chairperson of Nanta, she's always there to do whatever we want for us. So it does not limit our working relationship, even with Nanta or with any of the organizations.
All right, thank you very much. This is coming from LiveWithBeghast Africa. It says the gatekeepers are the enablers of exploitation in our industry. I'm asking the question, how does God sit to challenge this gatekeepers and this hierarchy that has continued to exploit dancers in our industry? Any of you can answer.
Maybe President want to answer that, sir. Or should I go ahead?
The president is not here yet. I don't know. I think it's network.
Okay, can I go ahead?
Please.
Well, for me, the gatekeepers, it is well. Like I have said earlier, Guild is to look for the welfare of dance artists. So, which means that if you are in any contract with anybody, let us know. And if you have been changed, if the Guild is alerted about it, definitely we will come up with something that will be beneficiary even to both parties. But if we do not have the strong thing to fight the fight, we will not be able to do anything. We have heard so many complaints by dancers. One leader take them to a certain place. After agreeing so amount, he now pay them this. I said, that thing that you are talking about, were they put into writing as in black and white? Because there are some leaders that you know that this man is like this, and if you want to work with that kind of person, he has done something for you, like twice, you shouldn't allow the third one to happen. So when he calls you for any job, make sure firstly that you have a kind of agreement written and signed. That's the only way we can help. For me.
Yeah, but when we talk this, it kind of like sound like we are not aware of the hierarchy. We know this thing called blacklisting, yeah, which a lot of young people are very concerned about that. Imagine calling someone out like Mr. Kudus or Nikeku, or calling someone out like Mr. BTB, or calling someone out like Mr. Bimbo Bafua, or calling someone out like Mr. Shego because of one issue or the other. Then he's like, "Oh, I think you can come here and stuff." And then his own network of people that are already making things happen due to like when I having shows, getting gigs from different people and creating shows, and they know that they have this power, and then the message start flying saying that, "Oh, this person is that, don't call this person." What does this have to do with this kind of situation?
It's very simple. The artist or the dancer rather will come to the guild through the state chapter. If the state cannot handle it, tell the national. We will hear from the person and of course call whoever that is involved. This is an association and we are running administration that is ready to help, that is ready to listen to people. So no matter how big the person is, we are not going to bring him down. We just to talk to him. Maybe the dancer may probably don't know how to present his case. We'll go to him, like the big ones you have mentioned now. They are not somebody we cannot, talk to. We will talk to them, ask them what happened, and they will give us their own point of point of view over the issue. But if it is something that we know they are at fault, definitely there are ways you tell Oga that Oga you are at fault. But we will not say it in the presence of the boy or the girl, but we will make sure that justice is served. That the Oga will call the boy or the girl or whoever is involved, we are sorry. Mark my word, this is live program. There is nobody in the dance industry. If the dancer is committed to the guild, we will make sure that whatever it's his or her own, he or she will get it. But it must be put in black and white, because we will not do something that we will later regret. I hope you understand.
Okay,
Thank you
and
very
let
much.
me just quickly add to what Mr. Tyler said. So earlier, just like I said, we are building a strong legal team, which is very, very important in every phase, in every designation, in every what do you call it, office of God. Because if we don't have that, whatever structure, whatever, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So whatever goals, whatever plans that we say we want to implement, it's not going to hold water. So this is part of the conversations that we're having. It is very, very important, because whether we like it or not, we're Nigerians first before, or would I say we are Nigerians, right? And we know how our country works. We know how the politics works. We know how the economic works. So don't forget that you are in that structure before God. Okay? So if we don't put that into place, trust me, all of this work that we say we want to do in this administration is just going to be to waste. So what that means is that, for just like he has said, if there be an issue, if these gatekeepers, the gatekeepers are never going to end till the end of the world. It's just part of what makes it's part of what makes life what it is, right? They are like, you take them as the challenges. But one thing that we must consciously and intentionally do as a body is this reform, re-education, reorientating, organizing these programs in different communities, making sure that these dancers are aware of their own rights too. Because if you're not aware of your rights, of course, we cannot say, to a certain degree, if we implement that, it will help us to a certain degree. But if we don't, it is never going to end. It is not going to stop. One thing we must all know, that if this is not going to stop, it's going to continue. Because just like the saying says, a person where they never catch, no saying himself a thief. The people who are, I remember when we were also saying, we want to do this, we want to be da, we want to be da da da. And then some of us, in the line of practicing or being the leaders, you then start to see them doing the same thing that the previous leaders were doing. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So we need to really put this into play, and we need to really make sure that we're deliberate and intentional about it in the various states. Then we can now talk about it on a national scale. But then what can the guilds really do? Is to have a strong legal team that are like they are on everybody's case. What I mean by they are on everybody's case is like a bug, or it's like a virus. We hear that there's something happening. Take, for instance, a situation of what do you call it? Westside Lifestyle, when they went to dance, and there was a situation during COVID, and with the governing, but not there was no governing body. It was just for the love of dance, and dancers came out as a voice, and this was how this whole thing was able to be resolved, right? And this brings me back to the question that BK asked about love and being part of something. When we have that as individuals, we can always step up. We can always step in. God is like that gap, that's bridging the gap between the dancers, their rights, education. This community is just like a Nigerian person should have, right? But we're not saying that they are the messiahs. At the end of the day, it still starts with us. It is still us that are going to make it work. But what then makes it more significant is the fact that there are people like God who are intentional and making sure that these things are put into place. I don't know if I'm able to, answer that.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. It's very important because it's crazy that a lot of us who were once at the forefront of criticizing these people who were hurting us or who were exploiting us are now
Exactly.
forefront of this exploitation, and it just says a lot of how human we are in terms of the whole greed and everything. But moving forward, I would like to direct this question to you again, Adila, by
Okay.
art excellency. So they say, does the present administration plan to engage international cultural organizations in Nigeria who have various platforms that support dance?
That's very correct. Some of the things that we're implementing in the comment section, I saw PR. It is very, very valid and very important. We've been doing so much, um, and I feel like the time is now for us to really, bring out all of our extremities and put it into work. In the sense that there are some dancers I know I can mention: Value, Bukumi, Akubo, Faith, doing amazing things in their various spaces. Far back as Zamfara doing amazing things in their different spaces. But we all have everything. We have the tools. We have all the work. I saw when somebody also mentioned that we are walking billboards. Where is the lie in that? We have all of that. But one thing that we're missing is that PR. And what that PR means to us right now is amplifying our voices as dancers. So in the process of amplifying our voices as dancers, these are the things that we are making sure that we put into place. How can the dancers of Nigeria, including myself, get the right fundings that they need, the right cultural exchange that somewhat kind of brings some sort of socio-economic exchange into the country and also globally. So these are part of the things that I feel like is very important, and it's also part of the conversations that we're having to see how we can already start with what is already available to us in Nigeria, which some institutions like Gote, IF, Sikera, also, to start having these conversations with them and seeing how we can use that to implement that into some sort of system that we are about to create. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Without waiting so much of our time, I will direct this last question to Mr. Tyro. So this is coming from Akubo. He says, "What is the tenor designated for? What is the tenor designation for GOND, and how does the election process happen?"
Please come again. Please come again.
Yeah, this is coming from Akubo. He says, "What
Okay.
is the tenor designation for GOND, and how does the election process?"
Okay. Okay. Thank you. F- it is 4 years per term. 4 years per term. Are you there? It's 4 years. So, and the modality at which election is done, at every 2 years, there will be national conference, or you call it national convention. So we'll have state chairman that will come from each state, which all the states that is functional now. Then we'll have their secretary too. Then one delegate from that state. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
So, which means 3 persons from one state. 3 persons from one state. Like Lagos now, we have the chairman will come from there, secretary will come, and a delegate. That delegate will probably be one of the floor members. So it is 3 per each that will now vote for whoever that is vying for national elective post. Then at the state level, because it is state, it will be done according to how the states agreed, even though we have constitution. So it means that they will not do anything that the constitution does not say, but they will now work on what they have on ground. So which means that whatever they are going to do must still be in line with what constitution says about election. So, but their own, there's nothing like delegates, is financial members, card carrying members of that state that will vote, that can be voted for, and of course vote for whoever they want to vote in as their maybe chairman, any of the elective position. So that's how it is done every 4 years.
Okay, so if I get you right, you say for a member or the guild to have a representative, state has to bring in a representative, like maybe from Lagos has to come here, going for the chairman.
That is the national. I'm talking about the national election.
Yes.
National election. The first one was national. Then the state, I said, just card carrying members.
Okay, so this national comes from different parts of Nigeria, yeah?
Of Nigeria, from Kaduna, Kano, Jos, Plateau, everywhere. Benue, Abeokuta, Oyo State, Kwara. Okay. That's how the national election is held. And
when these people are brought, or when these people volunteer to take this position, who then votes?
They are the same people that will vote. Those 3 people, let's say we have 10 states that GOND is controlling. So 3 per state. So, it's like 30 people that, Abi? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
3 per state, it means that we have 30 if it is 10 states. So it is from those ones that we have the ones that will vote. Okay, sorry, and the national executive too. So if we have somebody from the national that want to recontest or that want to vie for anything, or that will say, okay, I am not going again. So it means that the national executive that is not contesting will vote for whoever that wants to contest. So which literally means that a state chapter chairperson can be national president.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah.
So that is how it runs. We have 3 persons per state. Then we will now vote with the National Executive Council that will now vote together to appoint, to elect whoever that want to vie for any post.
So what you're saying is that the dancers don't get to vote who they want to be.
The dancer, you do that from state chapter at the national level. At the national level, you do that at the state chapter, which means that if a representative is coming from your state and you do not want that representative to go, you as a dancer representing, let me use Lagos State, you can raise motion to counter the nomination, or you go into vote before the delegate is chosen. But you cannot counter the representation of secretary and chairman or chairperson of that state, because they are automatic member. The only person you can counter is the delegate. You can say, we don't want this delegate. And if the chairperson wants it or the other persons want it, you're now going to vote. But the state chapter chairperson and state secretary, they are automatically I mean, approved to be part of the people that will vote or be voted for. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still trying to understand, but I'll ask a question. So when each state
Okay.
brought when each state brought up a representative, was there a voting um, voting opportunity that was put out for a normal members who are just members to vote for who we go and represent them at the national level elected?
Definitely there will be. You
There
know,
was, was
election.
there
What? No, you know why I said there will be.
have
It
that?
is a state chapter thing. It is not something I can say. Okay, this is how it runs. Abi, this is how you must do it. If you get my explanation very well, I said state. I said earlier. I said state chapter. You can do whatever you know suit your state, but it must be in accordance with what is in the constitution. But national, you cannot do anything except what is in the constitution.
Okay,
I hope you understand.
okay, but I think
So
with
national cannot say, how did you elect this delegate? How? We cannot query states unless we have a complaint or something from that state that says, we don't like that person that they chose, or we don't take any call. If we had that, then we can now stand up and say, okay, who is this man? What happened? We can mediate and try to solve the issue. But if there's nothing like that, we'll just have to ask. I mean, if the person comes with the letter from the state, who are we to say no? That would amount to interference.
okay,
I
I
hope you
think
understand.
yes, I do. But I think with this new administration, the ESCOs have said that there's a lot of restructuring happening. And I think part of the restructuring should also include the constitutions and the
Exactly. You're right.
You're
because
right.
there's a lot of
You're
things
right.
that are not inclusive to the community, and the guild needs to take that into consideration. But I am really excited you all were able to show up for this interview and answer all the questions that I and the dancers have. It was
Sorry to. Okay, you are
good.
saying something.
Yeah, good to you. But in order for me to close, I will just say that uh, if there's one message you want to leave the audience with is that the dance must not die, but to keep it alive, we must organize. And from the so much conversations that has been happening in the comment section, it shows that a lot of people out there are still hopeful for what dance could possibly be in the next 2 5 years. And me myself and Ed has to be encouraging the government to be able to take the responsibility very, very, very important, because right now the pivotal moments that we need to take the opportunity to sustain it and build it for many generations to come. So everybody out there, this video will be available on our YouTube channel, and we also create short information, also keep you informed about our conversations here. If the guild has any say, please take mine.
Hello.
If you would like to say anything before we end the conversation, chat.
Yes, I just want to say this. Firstly, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for organizing this. We are so much appreciative of it and believes that it will not stop. Please ask questions, help us to grow. Confront us, but let it be mutual one. Let it not be confrontational. You understand? Anywhere or anything you think we are not doing right, please do not hesitate to come up and help the administration, help the dance industry. That's what we need from ourselves. We cannot just occupy the seat and be going about calling ourselves chairman or whatever we are elected for. We should be responsible and responsive as well. So wherever you think we are not doing right, please call to ask questions. Maybe if we tell you, you might probably, okay, this is how it is, or you even help us out to solve some things. So finally, I want to say that GOND, you can register individually and you can as well register as a group. You do that with various state chapters. We have state chapters across the country. Please, we are now, like I said earlier, we are restructuring and we are trying to resuscitate some other state chapters that that have not been functioning properly. So please let us know if you want to register. You can. We'll get your contact from the anchor person. Let's know so that we will link you with the state of your practice. God bless you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Beghast. Thank you, LiveWithBeghast. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone watching. I'd also like to say that it takes a village, right? And together we can. However, we're still in the phase of restructuring a lot of things. So I believe that with time, there are things are going to be unveiling itself. How you can register. We're going to make sure that we try and stay active on social media, restructure the websites, the media outlets, the handles for GOND. The emails are going to be open, the numbers are going to be open. If you have concerns, information you'd like to share, things that can support the dancers, the organization itself, suggestions, ideas, you can always drop them in the box. Yeah, pretty much. And we are also looking forward to doing this together. Together. That word together is very important. We're also looking forward to doing this together, and we believe that at least it's going to be a great shift and the beginning of something different and new for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have come to the end of this conversation. Share their vision. Time for us as that to ask questions, to engage, to demand stability with hope. Let's remember that um, overnight, but starts with moment like this. We're looking forward to you. Thank
So, yeah, I guess so. Maybe
you very much.
call
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right, bye, everybody.
Uh,
Okay, bye. Adila, bye.